Who wouldn't want to take a bite out of some real, genuine Freddy Fazbear's pizza? And get a chance in person to see what all the hype and potentially the terror is all about. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. I'm your host Amanda McKnight, and this is Top 10 Gaming. Today we'll be counting down the top 10 scary FNAF restaurants we wish were real. Let's get counting. Number 10. Fredbear's Family Diner. Fredbear's Family Diner was the original location before Freddy Fazbear's became a thing. Although, don't ask me exactly where it falls on the timeline, because honestly, that timeline is a mess, and it's somewhat unclear at this point what restaurants existed where and when along it. Although many members of the fanbase have tried their darndest to untie the tangled web, we don't know a ton about Fredbear's, but we do know that it was older and that Fredbear was the star of the show there. It likely had more of a rustic feel to it, despite still having animatronics. Number 9. Fazbear's Fright. I mean, not really a restaurant, but this still had probably all of the makings of one as a spooky yet semi-accurate replica of the original. Fazbear's Fright was created to be a haunted house kind of attraction, showcasing artifacts collected from the real Freddy Fazbear's, and intended to profit off of basically all the negative press surrounding the family restaurant due to it being involved in multiple missing persons cases which remain unsolved. Even though they might not serve food like a standard restaurant would, Fazbear's Fright at the very least would have some kind of makings of a kitchen. We know this from the story What We Found that mentions the location, or a similar one at the very least, in the 8th Fazbear Frights book. There we learn that there is an oven that seemingly works, unfortunately in that case. And I bet they'd have some kind of candy to munch on in the gift shop at least, because you know people that are coming are gonna buy candy. Who doesn't want to buy candy? I guess people that don't like candy. There's gonna be a bunch of people now that are like, I don't like candy, and I'm like, oh man. I'm sorry you don't like candy, but also get with it. Eat some candy, it's so tasty. Obviously I like candy too much. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving this list and you want more lists like it where we talk about restaurants, I don't know if we could do a part 2 to this one because there's only so many of them, but if you like it, click like and we will definitely give you more content about the restaurants. Because yeah, we could do that. Number 8. Circus Baby's Pizza World. Like Fredbear's Diner, this is another location that we don't know too much about. Once again, we're not even really sure where exactly this one falls on that complex and confusing timeline. I feel like as well, the graph for that timeline would have like points going up and down and like intersecting. I just can't wait until time travel is introduced in this whole world, because I bet that's gonna happen at some point, and as soon as time travel's involved, it's gonna be a complete mess. Circus Baby's Pizza World involved a whole different cast of animatronics, and its main star was Circus Baby. I personally would love to meet Circus Baby in real life, as she is one of the only animatronics, I think, that can serve you ice cream. Like out of her, she could actually make the ice cream for you and serve it to you, which I really love ice cream, so I'm like way too hyped about that. You just might want to make sure you stay in a crowded area when spending time with Circus Baby or accepting any tasty ice cream offerings, just to be safe. Number 7. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria is obviously the main place we'd all want to go, but the real question is, which version of the restaurant would you want to visit? Would you want to see it when it was all shiny and new, or when it was more worn out and fallen into disrepair? Or would you prefer to visit it when it was completely abandoned? Maybe try to bring a friend there to give them a little scare? There have been lots of different versions of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, but I think the most iconic one that most of us would be keen to see in real life would be the first location we ever saw in Five Nights at Freddy's, the first game. Just seeing the office with its sliding mechanical doors would be a huge trip. Number 6. The Dark Circus. While this isn't a location we've specifically visited through the games, it is referred to both in the special delivery FNAF AR game for mobile and the new Security Breach Fury's Rage side-scroller we were given to hold us over till the full Security Breach game drops, hopefully later this year. Hopefully. The Dark Circus would likely be a circus event that you could visit, get concessions and merch at, like a normal circus show, but where probably everyone involved would either be dressed up as the Freddy's cast but twisted and more sinister looking, or would actually be animatronics themselves. I don't know which one is scarier, but both seem pretty intense. Number 5. Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. This one is also not a typical restaurant, but it sure would be a cool and creepy location to visit. I don't think I could bring myself to crawl crawl through a vent, so not sure how much of it I would personally get to see, although I imagine any guests visiting for rentals don't have to crawl through vents, right? Or are any customers just delivered the animatronics like in special delivery? Either way, maybe visiting as a tour guide or a prospective customer makes the most sense here. And who knows, maybe they'll have a sampling of exotic butters for you to snack on while you get a tour of the facility. I would definitely be down for that. Some tasty exotic butters. Number 4. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. What if Freddy Fazbear's was a franchise? Well, if we had Freddy Fazbear's pizza places everywhere, we would get to find out. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place is the location we visit and manage in Pizzeria Simulator, which means that if Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place was a thing in real life, it would be a restaurant where each location would likely be slightly unique. Each one would be owned by an individual who pays for basically the right to use that name and is in charge of what kind of decor, animatronics, and likely menu items would be available to guests. Although, you can't just make up new things usually with a franchise, but you do get to choose from like a list of things. A catalog, if you will. Having it as a franchise would also provide a lot of opportunity for there to be many different locations throughout the country and the world, which could be very exciting for fans. Or very terrifying if we were living in a world similar to the games. Because then there'd probably be a lot of death. Number 3. Fazbear Funtime Service. Fazbear Funtime Service is more like a delivery service for the Freddy's experience, but that being said, for most of us the world over, that is the closest we've been getting to a restaurant experience for the last little while. Because there was this whole thing where we couldn't really go outside for a while, remember that? So for that reason, I am going to count this experience as a restaurant. Delivery experience. We're counting it. And also, how cool would it be to have your favorite animatronics come to your home and visit you, assuming they were in working order, not malfunctioning and trying to kill you. And assuming that your friends couldn't just send them your way at all hours of the day and night. I'm definitely down to get a surprise visit from Chica with maybe some pizza. Like, I know you can't do that in the game, but wouldn't it be cool if they also brought you pizza? But I would not be down for that in the middle of the night while I was asleep. Like just to knock on the window while you're sleeping and just Chica standing there with pizza and like a knife. No thanks. Is it weird if Chica brings you fried chicken as well because she is a chicken? I wonder if they have fried chicken at Freddy's. I would totally get some. Number 2. Virtual Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Personally, my favorite restaurant that I've visited thus far through FNAF was actually a virtual one. I love the virtual version of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that we get to visit in the FNAF VR experience, Help Wanted. I'd either love to go visit this version as a walk-around virtual experience that was actually integrated into a room, so I could experience it sensorially as well. I don't know if sensorially is a word, but I said it, so now it's a word. That's how it works. I'm apparently Shakespeare. I'd also really love to experience physically having an animatronic to repair, like something that you actually can see in the game, but you could actually reach out and like touch the parts of the animatronic that you're fixing. That'd be really cool. And I'd just love to see this version brought to life, whether it be in a virtual setting or in like a real world. You can go inside the restaurant setting. Perhaps we could even have a sneaky glitch trap there who only appears faintly in the background somehow, or is hiding in the dark and you basically get a prize if you manage to spot them. That could be creepy, but also fun. Number 1. Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. Obviously, this is the one we'd all most love to go to, I assume, because go-karts! I love go-karts. But seriously, the Mega Pizzaplex appears to have it all. It has mini putting, go-karts, a salon, laser tag, ice cream, arcades, animatronics, pizza, all the things you could possibly want, and a ball pit, which honestly, I don't really want a ball pit, but it's there for people that like ball pits. So this is definitely the place to visit if we could only have one of these places made into a reality. Of course, I don't know if I'd want to get stuck there overnight with animatronics, like is probably going to happen in the game, and with Vanny possibly chasing me and trying to kill me, but during the possibly much safer operating hours, you bet, just not overnight, and not alone. and not being chased by animatronics. What are your favorite locations from the FNAF franchise? What areas or restaurants from the games or novels would you like to visit? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 FNAF Fan Alternate Versions Marathon Part 3. 80% comments, this is the best place to be when the FNAF line gets thin on ice. I can come here and figure out what to explore in the game every day, or look at the images and find scary ones. Well, I'm glad we're providing you with that FNAF content, especially as it is a little thin right now because we're like waiting. We're waiting for Security Breach. Will it ever come? I hope so. It looks so good. Hashtag the gaming goddess exclaims, "This is amazing!" Well, thank you. Drawing Lover 5 asks, can you please do the alternate fan versions of Funtime Foxy, please? Well, you said please twice, so I feel like now maybe we have to do that? I would love to talk more about Funtime Foxy. Funtime Foxy is awesome. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew!